Good morning and welcome back to Morning Line. We have Paul with us, Ask the Mechanic this morning. In fact, we do have a call that someone sent to me, a message from Shay, and this is her question. I'm actually just going to play this off the phone.
Okay.
Women are often intimidated to go alone to a mechanic shop, even though it's 2018. I've still heard from female friends that feel like they're going to get duped by the mechanic because they may not feel as knowledgeable in the field. Are there any suggestions for a woman that may not know that much about mechanics but does want to get the best price, and any suggestions that you could have for women to feel more confident going into a mechanic shop?
Great question.
Excellent question, and this is something that we deal with every day with new customers that come in, because, and I mean, literally, women will come in and say, "You're not going to rip me off just because I'm a woman." Okay. As far as confidence and not knowing what's going on with the vehicles, give you my point of view. Guys know about as much about cars as women do nowadays, so it really doesn't matter just because you're a woman, you're not going to be taken advantage of. But there are things that you can do, and do your research. Read your owner's manual. Ask questions. A guy will come in and tell me what he thinks is wrong with his car and what he wants done and get the wrong repair. I love women because they will come in and they will tell me what the car's doing, when it does it, what they're feeling, and then ask how much it's going to cost for the repair. So I get more information out of women. I really don't think there's the industry standard to take advantage of women over men anymore. A lot of it has to do with commission shops. You know, the more a guy does, the more money he makes. So that's an industry standard that you know is not always a good thing. So ask questions. Ask, you know, why are you replacing this? You know, what do I expect when this is done? Is it going to fix my problem? And if it's somebody you don't normally deal with, say, can I have my old parts back? That is no problem. I have no problem with those questions, and glad to do them because it helps build confidence. Then get to know your mechanic, get to know your shop, establish a rapport with them just like you would with a dentist or your hairdresser or your plumber. You know, somebody that you know, oh, I can call him for years. He come over to the house, fix my plumbing, no questions asked, and he takes care of me. That's what you're looking for in a shop. If you're not uncomfortable someplace and they don't make you feel comfortable, go somewhere else and find somebody that you like, or that will, like the gentleman that called earlier, feel like you're getting the best service that you can. You know, you are a consumer, and you know, oh shoot, women make more of the money decisions in a family than anything now. It has been that way for years. So yeah, you know, don't feel uncomfortable. Ask questions. You are the customer.
Perfect question. I really like that.
Yeah, I'm glad we got that one.
All right, let's go back to the lines. I believe we have Brian. What's your question?
Hey, I've got an older Jeep Cherokee. I've had a couple of Jeeps, and I really like it. It's a 99 straight 6 4.0.
4.0.
I replaced the motor a couple of years ago. And it's funny, ever since I did, I've had I replaced the spark plugs and points and wires and everything, and I'm not sure if that 99 Jeep has a distributor cap or not. But occasionally, it doesn't happen all the time, when I go to increase the gas, press down the gas, it'll go, it'll make a popping noise, and I'll lose a little power. Now, I'm not sure, oh, buddy, quiet. I'm not sure what exactly that is, and I was wondering what you might be able to think it is. I've had a couple different opinions, and I like to work on it myself, so
Okay.
I don't know.
What year did you say it was?
99 Jeep Cherokee, straight 6.
Right, 4.0 liter, and so that's going to be fuel injected.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Okay, couple common problems on those, and we were talking earlier. I sent my son to Alaska and won a similar Jeep Cherokee 4.0 liter with 200,000 miles on it, still running around up there someplace. they have a problem with the crankshaft position sensor. This is mounted on the bell housing on the transmission. It's an electronic sensor, and it basically lets the distributor and everything know that the engine's turning over. Those are bad about going out. Go ahead and replace that. Also the throttle position sensor, and this is mounted up on your throttle body, and when you push that gas pedal, this tells the onboard computer how much you're pushing it, and they almost work like a rheostat on a dimmer switch in your house. It's got a little resistance sensor in there, and they get a bad spot in them, and all it takes is momentary loss of signal, and it's going to hiccup like that. So check both the crank sensor and the throttle position sensor, and I think you're probably going to find your problem there.
There you go. All right. We have Charles on the line. Charles, what's your question?
Yes. I have an old truck I use on the farm, and I'm having a fuel gauge problem with it. I put new tanks, new sending units, new selector valve, and a selector valve switch, but it reads full all the time. If I take the ground wires off the frame, should it show like the gas tank is empty?
Oh man, you gonna make me have to brush off a few brain cells there, because in those, sorry, of course you got dual tanks, so it's going to complicate things. Yeah, in those circuits, if you ground the sending unit, it would go to full. And if you have an open in the wire, or take the sending unit wire loose, in this case ground, yeah, that should make it go the opposite way, make it go to empty. So yeah, I think you're probably you've got a short in that sending unit wire going back up to the dash. If you've swapped out tanks and stuff and you still have the old sending unit out of one of the old tanks, take and plug that one up, and then manually operate the little float on at the arm and see if that changes. If it's not going to change that gauge any, then your problem is going to be in your dash, in the gauge itself. But you're going to have to eliminate that one way or the other. But yeah, and again, then this may be the theme of the day. Check for pinched wires, because if it's gone all the way to full, I believe that sending unit wire is grounded out somewhere, and you may have got it pinched under a bracket or a frame. It's not in a good place to work in. I'm sure you had a lot of fun doing that job, so you don't want to have to drop that tank if you don't have to again.
Had to dust up some old knowledge right there.
That yeah, that's it. It used to be a lot simpler before the onboard computers and everything. Now all this stuff goes through your body control module and sensors, and yeah, it gets a lot more complicated. But the old farm trucks are still pretty basic.
Well, we have another message from Shay. Shay was the one who asked about females seeking help, and this is what she...
Maybe something about with budgets being tighter these days, and people do find themselves living to paycheck. What is a reasonable time to maybe push things out for certain maintenance checks, like transmission? How often and how far can we push it reasonably without doing damage? Oil checks, tire checks, because a lot of mechanic shops give you, 3,500 miles for oil, and is there a reasonable amount of time that you can extend certain maintenance checks and what do you call the word? What's the word I'm looking for? Like scheduled. You're trying to say like your annual stuff.
Right, your scheduled maintenance items on that. Another good question on there.
I think a lot of people can relate to that.
Well, it's budgets, money, and yeah, so people are. Well, always have a budget. Everybody's always having a hard time. You don't want to spend money that you don't have to. You don't throw away a pair of shoes just because the laces are broke on them. Same thing with a car. You want to judge what needs to be done on the car, first of all, for safety. Okay. Then as far as cost, do I need to fix it now, or can I fix it later? Will it do any more damage? I get these questions every day. look in your owner's manual, because different vehicles are going to have different mileage for transmission fluid. You know, it used to be you change that every 30, 60, 90,000 miles. Now a lot of them are full synthetic, and you don't have to touch it till 90,000 miles. And when you do, then you have to use the full synthetic again and go back with what's required for that. Oil changes. We put our stickers at 3,000. Okay, people procrastinate. But you look and see how low is it using oil. If it is and you're not due for your oil change, add to it, but keep an eye on your levels. These are things that you can do yourself that do not cost you any money to do. So be proactive. Knowledge is power. You know, if your coolant gets a little low, go ahead and keep it full. And then when you look at it and it's getting dirty or you're way past the mileage, go ahead and flush it then. But you know, don't skimp on the safety items. Brakes. When we need brakes, get your brakes done. Tires, keep them properly inflated. They'll last you longer and save you money there. Get every penny out of a vehicle as you can and drive it as long as you can. But the regular maintenance and stuff. So yeah. Check your owner's manual for that car specifically. You'll see two scenarios. One is normal driving, one is severe driving. Most people really do severe driving, but if you stick with the normal recommendations, that'll get you a little more mileage out of your money.
We have less than a minute.
Wow. Went fast.
Any overlooked issues, especially around this time of the year, that people should really consider?
Just plan for the worst. You know, if you're going on a road trip, take a first aid kit, take some cold water, you know, roll of duct tape, make sure you got a spare tire. Just plan for the worst, and it's like carrying an umbrella. It'll never rain if you got one with you, you know. So I want people to be safe, have fun, enjoy your car, get out there on the road, enjoy your families. Nothing worse than having car trouble, and it stresses everybody out. If you do, then call me and we can help you out.
There's a mechanic. Thanks so much. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Matthew.
Whether a house is new or whether a house is 20 years old, we can go in and we can find debris in the lines. Mr. B's is about doing duct cleaning the best that we can do it and better than anybody else in the industry. That's what I personally stand behind and guarantee. We never make a claim that we're going to help your health. That's just something we don't do. But again, I personally believe that if I put you in a cleaner environment, it's got to have a positive impact on you. And we literally cut a hole into the main trunk line. That's the main artery, just like a tree trunk. And we attach a HEPA vacuum system to it.
All right.
When we do that and turn it on, it causes a negative airflow. As that machine's sucking everything backwards, we go to each line and we'll brush it, and then we air sweep it down to the trunk line. So we've taken everything back to that negative airflow. So again, whether it's upstairs or downstairs, you saw that everything is being brushed and air swept to the trunk line, not bringing it back into your breathing atmosphere. What makes my home need an air duct cleaning? You have to make that decision. It's your environment. And so if you have black lines at the edge of your carpets, or you have any sort of dust, excess dust in your home that you're dealing with, and that's a problem for you, then you definitely would want your air ducts cleaned. But most people understand too that if they'll just look down the return, take the filter out a little bit and look down the return, they'll see all the dust that they're breathing on an everyday basis. The way we do the cleaning, most residential homes will be good for 5 to 7 years. We do recommend that you have your system serviced by a licensed contractor and also use a good filter. We've been doing this for over 17 years now. We take pride in the fact that we have an A+ rating at the Better Business Bureau. Also the fact that we don't believe that anybody's going to out-clean us. And as I've said before, people can outprice me, but they're not going to out-clean me. There's only one way, and that's the right way, and that's what we do at Mr. B's Air Duct Cleaning.
What a great day. Ask the Mechanic with Paul Kenny. So if you guys do have any other questions or would like to seek his service, he does work for Precision Tuned Auto Care right there on Murfreesboro Pike. The number is on your screen, 615-399-8863. Once again, the thing that really he stressed is to really be observant and make sure to get help as soon as possible. You never want to be out on the interstate for something that you could have fixed early on. I'm Matthew Torres, filling in for Nick Barris. He will be returning tomorrow, so no worries for those who may be asking questions. But it was a great time. Thanks for watching Morning Line. Have a great day.